Welcome back to my channel. Hello, it's Monday. Oh my god, I actually have no idea what I've got going on today. Well, let's be so for real. I have no idea what I'm doing right now. I feel like I'm walking into this week just like missing something, you know, like I feel like I have missed something important. I feel like there are going to be realizations we have later. I don't know. Anywho, I don't even really have anything to tell you. I just like feel vaguely anxious today. Don't know. Sorry, I am trying to think of what I honestly don't even know what I've got going on today, schedule-wise, work-wise, like responsibility-wise. I'm at my main place of work, so I'm a consultant dietitian, so I kind of travel a little bit for work. I have 2 buildings to cover today. I am at building number 1, and it's what I consider to be my main work site because most of my hours go to this hospital. And yeah, that's that on that. I think I was caught up on everything last time I was here on Friday. Like, I think I didn't have any lingering tasks, but I feel like there are always so many things in motion here that I'm sure I forgot something. And I just, like I said, I have this like really strong feeling like I'm forgetting something today. I've felt it honestly all weekend too. I was like wanting to sit down and really think about what I've got going on this week because I just felt like I was forgetting something. I don't know how else to describe that. It was such a strong feeling though. Where's my arm? Okay. Why am I eating my hair? Anywho, I guess I'll let you know if I figure out what that something is because right now I don't know. Oh, one fun thing. Coffee. I only had 1 cup of coffee this morning, but when I went grocery shopping yesterday, I always am eyeing these, and I don't ever buy them because I don't really buy energy drinks, and my main way that I get caffeine is coffee, and I just drink it plain, black, hot, boring coffee, right? But I've always been enamored by Alani's, so there was a buy one get one free, so there was like none left, but I got 2 of this flavor, which I think is a flavor I've tried before and I like, the Dream Float. So I think it's supposed to be like an orange creamsicle kind of vibe. So I specifically didn't have my second cup of coffee. This has 200 milligrams of caffeine. I forget what's in 1 cup of coffee, but is it 50 or is it 100? I don't know. But yeah, I have 2 of these. And I mean, potentially I won't even drink this. Potentially I'll just have some coffee at work and like have that another day, but I did bring it, so that's fun. I can't shake this feeling of anxiety. I don't know, man. Do I have anything else fun to tell you before I go in? Not really. I don't have anything fun. Okay, I'll see you later. Hi, don't mind the hair, it is setting. I've curled it today because it was wash day and I am letting it cool down and such before I brush it out. So do not look at this, but I just never, you know, checked back in with you after work yesterday. So today is Tuesday. Welcome to Happy Tuesday. It's a rainy day. Let me show you the girl. I don't know where I got paused, but I wanted to show you the girl. She's a cute little baby. It was raining this morning. Exhibit A, look at how rainy. She still needed her morning walkies, so she's a little wet. She smells like a wet dog. But I don't know where I got cut off a second ago. I was saying don't mind the hair. I don't know if we finished that thought. I'm gonna be brushing it out later, so don't look at it. But I didn't update you after work yesterday, so I'm just popping back in and we will just continue this day, like this video, even though it's 2 days now. But any hoodly doodle, I don't know. I feel like I'm at a weird standstill right now where I'm not really sure what to be working on. I'm ready for work. I just need to change my pants and put on my cardigan, but it's not like time for work yet. So it is a little after 10 a.m. and I don't have to be anywhere until technically a little after 2 p.m. because that's when I have a scheduled thing at one of my hospitals, but I want to get there a little bit early, of course. But I don't know. Like, I'm thinking I want to get there maybe a little bit after I eat lunch. Don't know when that's gonna be. But that gives me like an hour and a half-ish, right? I'm not really sure. So I have out my laptop and I'm thinking about things that I could work on remotely, and nothing's like really coming to mind. So I don't know. I don't know. Oh my God, you know what I could tell you about? A little book side tangent here. So here's my lovely bookshelf. Okay, so I was reading this most recently, and so this is like a very popular series. It's the first book in, I think it's like the Addicted Calloway series. I don't know, this book was like kind of a tough read. I think I only rated it 3 stars, to be honest. It's about 2 addicts, which was a little triggering for me. I didn't enjoy reading about addiction, but that's okay. Like, it was still an entertaining read. I also got the book wet at some point on accident. Like, that's what that weird ripple is. I don't know, there's probably some other little spots, but anyway. Also, it's been like, there's a weird little spot here that I don't know, I've owned this book for a really long time, and I finally was like, I should read it. So anyway, just thought I would update you on this. I do want to continue the series, but I had a hard time getting through this. Like, I kept like not wanting to pick it up because the addiction portrayed was like well portrayed, I think, but like also just really bothered me as someone who has people in my life that struggle with addiction. So it's like, oh, it was like really tough. But anyway, let's get this back on my shelf. So then I was like, what do I want to read next? And I looked up to this shelf. There's a hole here, as you can see. So this is kind of mostly a fantasy shelf. So I picked one by TJ Klune, and it usually hangs out here. My Kindle's on top here, but I accidentally put it somewhere else, Kyla. This is the one I started, In the Lives of Puppets. I did not get very far at all, like barely any. So I don't really know much about the story yet, but this is such a pretty cover. Like, the quality of this, like, what is it called? Like, overlay thing? I don't know, it just feels really nice, and it looks really nice. Like, oh my God. Gorge. Anywho, I put this where it's supposed to go, right here. This is the little book in progress spot. She like doesn't know what to make of today. She like kind of does reflect the weather outside. So the fact that it's really rainy and gloomy, she is kind of more subdued and chill naturally. So she'll probably hang out here while I'm here for the rest of the time that I'm around. But anyway, what else do I need to tell you? Oh, I'm gonna prep some dinner because yesterday I got home too late to do anything with dinner, and I felt kind of bad because we had very like simple, boring, lazy meal because I was home late. So I have chicken that needs to be used today, and I have a recipe that isn't even really a chicken recipe. It's actually just vegetarian like pasta, but there isn't any protein present in the meal. And I do want to incorporate more plant-based protein into my diet again. I used to be vegan, but my fiance that I'm also cooking for, sorry, the rain's getting like loud, hello. He's allergic to a lot of foods, including a lot of plant-based proteins. So I've kind of been trying to figure out what I want to do with that. But actually yesterday was a plant-based meal, well, plant-based protein. There was still butter included and cheese, but we had rotini. I can never think of that word. Like just an easy rotini, like I think it was a spinach rotini. I also had a mushroom one that we had like a week or two ago that was really good. I think I liked the mushroom one better than the spinach one, but anyway, there wasn't meat there, I suppose. So I guess that wasn't really even plant-based protein. It was just like it didn't have meat. But yeah, anyway, I have chicken that needs to be used today, and I have just like a pasta dish that's like with mushrooms, and it has like a butter garlic sauce that has toasted breadcrumbs. It's really good. It's a very Casey meal, and Dan will point that out when I make it. I already know. I just have a habit of just like a simple, usually chicken protein with like a simple flavor profile, mostly garlic and vegetables. And like I'm just very basic white girl. And every time we have just like chicken with veggie and a starch, Dan's always like, this is a Casey meal, which means it's a boring meal, but it's okay. That's what I want to do. So I think actually the reason I'm bringing this up is I'm considering marinating the chicken, because that's part of the reason Dan's more of a picky eater than I am, and he stopped enjoying eating chicken because it's so boring, and like we just put like seasoning on top. And part of that's my fault, because even if it was supposed to be flavorful and like marinated and stuff like that, I don't plan ahead well, okay? I don't plan ahead well. I'm trying to like get you to see the dog too, but I don't know if you can. So let me sit down actually on the ground, apparently. Apparently, I decided a different hand would make it easier to potentially see the dog. I don't know what you can see, but don't remember what I was just about to say at all, actually. Oh, I was talking about like me being unprepared generally for everything in my life. It's the ADHD, okay? So like I cannot plan ahead and like take steps ahead of time, basically. That's basically it. So like whenever we have frozen meat that needs to be thawed or whatever, or if I need to make something in advance, you know, like marinating a meat, I just don't do it. I just forget. And then all of a sudden it's scrambling last second, like, oh, we need to eat in 20 minutes. I need to like make this food. So it's always a whole thing. But I'm thinking maybe I'll marinate my chicken this time. What do you think, girl? Potentially, since I don't know what to do right now. There are things I'm considering doing right now. I just don't know what's gonna make the most sense, because it's kind of like vague tasks that I'm considering starting, which isn't good for my ADHD brain either. And I've only taken half of my dose so far for this point in the day, because I'm just trying to see if that works, but I don't know. So I take medication for my ADHD 2 times a day with breakfast and with lunch. And I just feel like, first of all, my psychiatrist gives me like the most vague instructions ever, because I swear she also has ADHD, and I just can't get a straight answer from her, and every advice she gives me feels so chaotic, which I am enjoying her. Like she's doing her job, and like I understand what's going on, but like I know I don't need to take my full prescribed dose of the medication, and I'm wary to take the full prescribed dose because I've had to increase my dosage over time. Only I think 1 or 2 times, because I started like at a very, very, very low dose, and then I went up to something that was more like normal, and then I felt like I had like adapted to that and it wasn't helping me anymore. And I just don't want to keep going up and up and up and up and up, right? So I'm trying to see if I can have my breakfast dose be a half pill instead of a full pill, because there's a short period of time between breakfast and lunch. So I've been trialing that for like quite a while, and it's like totally going fine. It's just like right now I'm like trying to give myself responsibility. It's like, do I have the focus for that? I don't know. I just don't know, girl. But let's see. So we never talked about what work was like yesterday. My arm's like really tired though, so I think let me see. What can I do? What can I do? How's that? Now you can see the girl. I've rested. I could get my tripod out, is what I could do. I could get my tripod, but I'm not going to, because it's behind a closed door and that feels very difficult. So you're just like jankily set up on my coffee table. And now I'm gonna have to like sit way down here. So we never talked about work yesterday, but let's see. It was a full day. I feel like I didn't get a lot done somehow. I don't know, there's days like that where it's like you did a lot technically, but it's like looking back, you're like, what did I do? That's what yesterday felt like. Because I feel like I was sitting at my desk like almost all day. I actually have to find some patients when I go back in next, because I missed the only patients I really like needed to talk to yesterday. Like I went down to their unit a few times, to like their side of the hospital, but like they weren't available anytime that I went down there to check, and then I got fully submerged in a random task that took over like half my day. So to tell you what that is, yeah, so I have stuff to catch up on next time I go, but my schedule's actually gonna be interesting. Yeah. Schedule's gonna be interesting this week, because usually I go to that particular hospital Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but this week it's gonna be Monday, Thursday, Friday, because of something extra that's on my calendar. I just have like a training for something in the morning, and it's scheduled for Thursday, and I usually don't go places Thursday, so I'm like, how can I make this work best for me? And I was like, oh, I could just like reorganize and like make it so I don't go anywhere on Wednesday, and then like layer up something else on my Thursday. So yeah, I don't know if that made sense, but I hope it did. So trying to think of the easiest way to describe this. That's our ice maker. You act like you've never heard that before. You're funny. You're a funny goose. You're a silly goose. Yeah. Okay. What was I telling you? What am I telling you? Do you see this dog right now? She's crazy. I've lost the plot, dude. Oh, so they have a 4-week menu cycle that I designed, and like part of something that goes with that is having the standardized recipes. We have to have standardized recipes on hand since it's a hospital, like everything needs, well, I'm sure this is like any business essentially, but like we need to have portion sizes, like calorie and nutrition information. They need to be following the serving sizes and the actual recipe that is provided so that everything is accounted for basically. Like this is basic. But I hadn't updated our recipe binder in a minute. And by in a minute, I mean, I think ever. So like this stuff has been available the entire time. Like it's not like we're being negligent, but just like I haven't gone through and fully made sure everything made sense. So I'm kind of in like this weird spring cleaning mood where I'm like, let me like redo the entire spring, like menu recipe binder. Okay. So in a recent visit, I went through and I printed out all of the recipe sheets, which was like 1,000 pages. Not joking, it was 1,000 pages. And I like fought with my 3-hole puncher all day. And that was really annoying. But I wasn't happy with the way that it was like fully completed. So like I had little tabs to separate each of the 4 weeks of the menu cycle, and everything is in order of how it appears on the menu. So I liked that, but there was something just like that didn't feel right to me. So yesterday I went through and I made smaller tab sections that broke down the days of the week. So like week 1, we have a big tab, and then there's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whatever, etc. And I love that. And I started like using, I don't know what they're called, like those sheet protectors basically, which was kind of annoying in hindsight because it's like, why did I fight with my 3-hole puncher all day when I'm like just not going to use those 3-hole punches? I'm going to use something that already has a 3-hole punch in it. But I started like organizing that and getting rid of things that were redundant in the binder. Just because it's 1,000 pages and I'm like, this is a little bit extreme and excessive. And there were things that were like replicates. Like for some reason, whenever mac and cheese shows up on the menu, I had the recipe printed twice, and I'm like, why are we doing that? So I try to declutter those things that were like clear, like redundancies. And I also know that we're going to be tweaking the fruit thing. For some reason, at some point when I updated the menu, we like didn't have access to order something. So in the menu cycle, I replaced everything with like tropical fruit. But apparently I did that like 3 different times because tropical fruit is all over the freaking menu now. And somebody asked me about it. I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. Like I didn't realize I did that. So I'm going to have to be updating the menu soon anyways to make it so we don't have tropical fruit 4 days in a row in 1 week. Like that's insane. But also I just know that that's not as helpful to have on hand as a recipe compared to like Greek chicken. Every time they've seen Greek chicken on the menu, they're like, what is that? And I'm like, honestly, I don't know, but I didn't put it on the menu. I've just like left it on the menu. So having like the actual things they're cooking and preparing is what I want to put like primary intention in. And then I think in the final tab, I'll have like the cold items that usually they'll place on their salad bar section, like the fruits. Yeah. So I was like doing that for like almost all day yesterday, and it felt insane. I'm not done yet. And I also need to update the menu and make sure that the binder reflects any changes I do make. If it's just the fruits, we're gonna be fine. We don't need to make any major changes. But if it's like more than that, then like, I'm gonna have to fix something again. But B, I need to do it with the snack menu as well. So that's fun. So today, the small task I'm thinking, like vague question mark, I could start while I'm here at home is kind of related to that. So they have carb counts that are like, and I don't think that this is the most helpful thing anyway. Like, I don't even really know how to explain it, but basically they have carb sheets that they fill out on the nursing unit anytime allegedly there's a diabetic patient, and just to like make sure that we know how much carbohydrate, like grams of carbs they're eating, and like if they take insulin to kind of make sure that everything's lining up. But like they're very annoying to set up. I don't use things like that in any other hospital. Like we should just have these patients on diabetic friendly diets instead of on a regular diet where we have to micromanage and track every little thing. Like that would be way easier. But I need to find a solution, and I could start working on that today where I like look at the carb count stuff and try to find a plan. Like that's kind of what I'm thinking about doing, but I don't know, that seems like too vague of a task, so I probably won't do it. I don't know. Oh, hi. You're a little angel. You are. Okay, I think I'm keeping her up, so I will leave her alone. But what am I gonna do now? I don't know. Oh, I forgot to mention. I think at some point yesterday I was telling you I just had this like foreboding feeling that I was forgetting something. It turns out I was, and that I already kind of told you, but it was my calendar this week. I didn't remember that I had that training for sure on Thursday morning this week. Like I knew it was coming up, but I didn't like have it in my calendar officially. So like that was kind of throwing me off. So I did in fact forget something, but then I remembered it. So that's good. I don't know. I'm gonna go to my laptop, and if anything fun comes up, I'll let you know. All right, we go in. I'm gonna let her free roam, even though I'm not really supposed to. I ended up not doing anything productive, so pretend I didn't say I was going to. Time to go to work though.